See?
Yeah.
It's that simple. You didn't say no because you just said no. So there are things we will say no to. There are things that we'll just go, no.
Just break the habit.
We've got to get out of the habit, because what we do is we don't value ourselves as much as the thing that they want us to do. Or we don't value ourselves as much as the potential brownie points for doing what they want you to do. So what matters most? See, this is all internal. It's not about them. So what matters most is saying no or getting some brownie points for being a good girl.
Well, saying no matters the most.
Yeah, ultimately
because
it does.
Because the brownie points never come in anyway. So.
But what matters for you actually is the brownie points.
Oh, at the moment.
Or your behaviour indicates that what you're doing is going for the brownie points.
Yeah.
The trouble is the brownie points don't work.
No.
You don't end up feeling good, even if they did come. I know you're not getting them, but even if they did come, what do the brownie points do? You don't walk an inch taller.
Well, no.
Brownie points don't actually work. You walk an inch taller when you do something you thought you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Which is say no.
That's it, yeah. Got it.
Got it?
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're talking about backing yourself. We're talking about, instead of other people saying you're great, you acting as if you're worth it. So how do you walk an inch taller? How do your shoulders square up? How are you more worthy? How are you more proud? How are you more capable or confident? You do the things that you think you can't do. Not the things that they want you to do.
Yeah.
So people go bungee jumping, mate. They're all excited. The thrill seekers, they're only excited while the adrenaline's in their blood, right? But for your average tourist, when they go somewhere and there's bungee jumping, they're excited 3 months later because they did something that was beyond them at the time. You know, just before they jumped, they thought they couldn't.
Yes.
And most people standing on the platform are shitting themselves because... So you can only be excited 3 months later if it was you that you went past. You know, you learn a new language. That does something for you. Who cares whether you can speak French or not? But learning a new language, whether that's a new language on a computer or a new system or a new language or a new whatever it is, when you learn something, when you grow, you feel better about yourself. Whether someone's saying, isn't that great, you can speak French or German or Swahili or whatever it is, you know, them saying, oh, you're great, you can speak 5 languages, that lasts like 5 seconds.
Yes.
They walk off and you go, oh, they don't know what they're talking about anyway. So brownie points don't work.
No.
But doing the thing that you thought was such a hurdle for you, was, you know, we look at all sorts of things. For many people, speaking in public is a fear that, you know, quite overwhelming. So what they do is they avoid it. When in reality, if you've got a fear of speaking in public, it would be great to go and do it just so that you can get over yourself. Just so you can do something that you're afraid to do. So you can develop... That's about developing self-respect. It's not about overcoming fear. That's another subject. It's about developing self-respect because you took yourself on. You don't need to take them on. They're all wankers and losers who are designed. They conspire to get into a job environment where they can put shit on you. And we have to be grateful for them for doing that. So that you can learn what you need to learn, which is to back you.
Have my own self-respect,
And be able to understand that there are going to be times when it's not possible for you at work to say no, because you need to do the job. But facing this whole concept of them not saying thank you, you can sit in that, you can be with that and go, well, there you go again, I handed over a brilliant piece of work, they said nothing. How do I feel? I feel sad about that. Which part of me feels sad about that? The part who wants the brownie points. What about the real Helen? Well, the real Helen will be fine.
Yep.
The real Helen will go, there they go, they're doing their game again. They're working on non-appreciation of other humans, that's their thing. And one part of Helen can step in and play with them, and the other part of Helen can just watch what's going on.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes.
And that's the Helen who needs to go with you when you go to the grog shop. because you won't beat this until, because the difference between working and drinking is that with drinking there's chemicals involved.
Yeah.
So the Helen who doesn't need the brownie points, the real Helen, take her with you when you go to the grog shop and the chances are you walk out with nothing in your hands. Now, alcoholics would shoot me rather than let me say the next bit, because alcoholics want it to be a disease. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't believe it is a disease. I believe
Well, we can
it's
only
coming.
work with what you believe, so that's kind of handy, because neither do I. So, what were you tearing up about just then?
Just seeing me walking into the shop and having the strength to not buy alcohol.
Okay. If you use the strength to not buy it, eventually you'll crumble. So rather than use strength to not do something, why don't you go with yourself to feel what's going on? Right, so why doesn't Helen, the real Helen, watch Helen the drinker? Because they're both there anyway, they're both in there.
Yeah.
They'll both be in the same place.
Mm.
Why doesn't the real Helen watch Helen the drinker go down to buy the stuff and find out what Helen the drinker is doing when she's buying it? What's she wanting? What's she feeling? What's getting her to do that? And the real Helen can say, do you really want to? And the Helen the drinker can say, what would the real Helen say? The Helen the drinker, what would she say when she's purchasing, when she's grabbing that stuff? What's the feeling that she's generating?
I haven't been able to identify the feeling. I've got a million stories about why I should do it in my head. You know, I've worked hard, everyone else does it. I don't drink that much. It's no big deal.
Well, what is it? At that point, what does the alcohol feel like? Because it's still in the bottle. What's it feel like?
Physically? What is it?
There'll be a feeling in your body. Nobody goes shopping without feelings, mate.
Okay.
Well, some people do. Ryan does, but...
I can feel it here.
Yep. Just try and put some words on it. Even words that only vaguely fit will do.
It's a control.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting control.
Yeah? Control of?
The anger?
The anger. Uh-huh. So by drinking I can control the anger.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In what way? Does it relax you and therefore you don't fire up? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe it blocks it out.
Uh-huh. Stops you feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Stops you from feeling.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is go with you down the grog shop or wherever it is you go to buy the stuff.
Yep.
Real Helen goes with Helen the drinker.
Yeah.
Identifies the feeling that Helen the drinker is having. The real Helen says, why don't we let this feeling come up?
Yeah.
Today, would you be willing to go home and grab the punching bag and let the feeling arise in a safe environment and let some of that stuff out of your system?
Yeah. Yes, I would. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So we need you to come back in the future and tell us how it went.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it?
I've got it. I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks
Pleasure,
so
mate.
much.